I promise I won't berate anybody on the phones today. I got wrapped on the knuckles last night, so I promise to be very good. Henry wants to join us here on Over the Edge. Henry, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Great,
Hey, Henry.
thanks. You want to talk a little fighting and hockey?
I do. I find this conversation absolutely absurd to say that the fighting has no place in the game. I mean, what's wrong with giving your team a spark? What's wrong with going and sticking up for your star player? And to say that it's actually like WWF wrestling and it's staged, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life.
Well, that's not what we talked about. And if you would have listened to the show, Henry, we were talking about the WWF and its stage. We were talking about the Sean Avery comments. So, don't mix your arguments up here just for the sake of making yourself sound better, Henry.
He was saying that it looked like it was choreographed. Did he not say that?
Well, you know what? When two guys line up at the face-off circle and before the pucks even drop, they drop their gloves. Did that not seem like it's somewhat choreographed?
So in other words, it's like wrestling. It's staged.
No, that was a different conversation.
The fight is not
different
staged.
Conversation, Henry.
But
Henry, I'm going to hang up and you can think about what you're saying. Sorry, I apologize.
You think about it.
No, you think about it. Have a good day. David wants to chime in. Go ahead. Welcome to Over the Edge.
Hey, guys. For me, looking at these guys walk in with custom-made Armani suits, which obviously cost thousands of dollars, to me is not something that is a standard that should be held up high for kids to watch them and think, boy, these are a bunch of professionals. Like, for example, I don't think I'd want to see, for example, the Olympic row team walk towards the water wearing Armani suits. I mean,
that's just not practical. You're talking just nonsense here, Dave. That's not practical. That's not what would be even asked of these guys. These guys aren't going to go in and row a boat.
Well, no, I know, but
so what are you talking about then?
Well, I'm talking about like a team representing.
Okay, well then use something that is in a preference or something that is related to this. The topic we're talking about, please.
Well, I mean, what does wearing a tie have to do with playing hockey any more than
it has to do with the respect factor that every other league adheres to. It has to do with the professionalism that every other league adheres to. We had the CJHL commissioner on telling us that they have a league policy. They adhere to it. Why can't the professionals adhere to it?
Well, I do think that they should have a dress code and they should be dressed well and represent, a certain amount of respect in that sense. But
well, you're contradicting what you just said earlier when you first came on the show with your.
No. What I'm saying is, I don't think that it's any great thing for them to be walking in with custom-made $5,000 suits.
What does the price have to do with looking sharp and being professional? What is it? How does that equate?
Well, because we're talking about kids look up to these guys.
Yeah, but you don't have to wear a $5,000 suit to get looked up on.
Well, that's how they dress when they wear suits, these guys.
Well, okay, you know their fashion better than I do. Sorry about that. You've contradicted yourself 3 times. I got no time for that type of a phone call. Mike, welcome to Over the Edge.
Good morning.
Morning.
How are you?
Oh,
good.
Look who it is. Michael.
Hi, Lee.
How are you?
Nice to hear from you. You're usually not a regular here on Over the Edge, maybe a little bit earlier.
I guess my first time calling.
Well,
holy mackerel. We'll mark this date out on our calendar.
On the air, that is.
Well, you know what? Yeah. Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, okay, we will.
Fire the coach.
No.
Get rid of the Euros.
No.
Trade Redden. That happened about 6 or 7 years ago. Or about 5 years ago, I guess. 4 years ago. What happened to the team since then?
So you think Wade Redden was going to help us out this year?
Absolutely not, but everybody wanted Wade Redden out of town. Everybody wanted Jacques Martin out of town. Everybody wanted the Euros out of town. That happened.
Well, Wade Redden...
look what happened to the team.
No, you know what? The Euros didn't get out of the town. You can ask Danny Heatley, you can ask Dan Alfredson if the Euros are out of town. If players are asking for the coach, that was one thing. I think Jacques Martin was putting this team in a bad position to win. And as far as Wade Redden's concerned, his days of good hockey are done. How's he doing in New York right now? How's he doing in New York right now, Mike?
Well, he's not doing good.
He's making $6.5 million for 5 years. The Rangers got sucked into it.
But why, when the fans wanted what they wanted 3 years ago, they wanted Martin fired, they wanted the Euros gone, and they wanted Redden gone. So they've got all that, and then, what's happened?
Well, they went to the Stanley Cup final 2 years ago.
And then what happened?
Well,
they fell apart.
Well, yeah, and the salary cap came in and had some changes with a lot of different teams. And, yeah, they've signed some guys that a couple of years ago and last year where, everybody was on board with Mike Fisher getting a raise. And
Mike, how would you turn this team around?
I had absolutely no idea how to turn this thing
Well,
around.
then you know what?
But
you have
I
nothing
do
else
know.
to say. Thank you very much for your phone call.
You're
Have a
hanging
great
up?
day. Cecil,
Gentlemen, how are you?
great. Yourself?
Not bad.
Good.
My opinion on this is, look, sooner or later, like maybe they're going to hit him too heavy because they aren't hitting people hard enough for the hits to the head. They're not suspending long enough, and that could end somebody's career and or life. But sooner or later, you pay for all your past transgressions, and he's going to pay this time. It may cost him 10 or 15 or 20 games, and whatever it is just because he got a slap on the wrist for all the other time.
So you're the one that is going to be the godlike complex that says, okay, this is the time, Cecil, that Sean Avery gets convicted, tried, thrown to the lions, and it is your decision as Gary Bettman, as the head of the NHL, that you're just going to pick and choose which ones you want to persecute and which ones you don't? Isn't that a little bit of a godlike complex? Not in the game of hockey. Quit taking the law and trying to apply it to a sport because it doesn't work. Thank you very much for your comments, Ron. And you can sit there with your lily white, whatever you're wearing, and your pressed underwear and enjoy your day.